Well, hello everybody. It's I'm going fishing 21-3. This is Douglas Allen Frazier. I'm down at my neighbor's lake. It's a beautiful Friday evening. I just got done recording Cast to the Right Side, and I'm going to do some little playing around tonight. I enjoy that. I'm going to be fishing at a place on the lake that I've fished before. I've caught fish here, but I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be using worms. I just got a new reel, a Lew's reel today. I'm going to put it with the pole I got a while back that I paid $6.88 for, with rod and reel from Walmart. But the reel kind of puked out on me, but the rod is still good. So we're going to come down here tonight and we're going to just try something a little bit different. I've got a bobber. I'll show you my setup here. Okay, I got a little bobber. I got a single hook right there. There's the new Lew's reel. Looks pretty good. 21.98 at Walmart. It's a nice little reel. Comes with line, I believe about 6-pound test. Well, we're going to go ahead and test this out. It's a beautiful night. It's about 100 degrees right now, and we're just going to see what happens. But I'm going to also give you a little tip that I learned today from Brian Latimer. He's a guy on the pro fishing circuit, and he was talking about spinning reels. And I've got the bail right there. And he said he was talking with a manufacturer of spinning reels. And one of the things he said that most people do is they flip open the bail. I'll see if I can do that for you. Well, I can just explain it simple, a lot easier. They flip open the bail and then they start reeling and close the bail. He said that's the wrong deal to go, because if you've experienced having line twist on your spinning reel, he said every time you do that, you put in more twisting onto your line. So he said actually open it with your fingers and close it with your fingers, and you'll eliminate that problem. Now, I have never known that before. Brian Latimer said he had never heard of that before either, but he said I started using it, and you know what? I got a better response off of my spinning reel. So that's my tip tonight that I got from Brian Latimer, and I'm passing it on to all who are listening. You know, that's what I say. I come down here to have a good time and have fun. So if you want to listen to the pros, I'll pass on some of those. I passed on one from Jimmy Houston about fishing with barbless hooks. That's what I got tonight, and we are going to have some fun. So here we go. Getting everything set up. That might take a little while. I think I'm going to set my camera right down here. I don't know if I can get a little bit. Yeah, on a rock, and we'll just see what we've got. Well, that looks pretty good. That's a beautiful picture anyway. Now let's see if we can catch some fish. As you know, I've shared that I had a couple days where I went and I didn't catch anything. Now I got bites, but I didn't catch anything. Now I've got my worms. I've got them on ice. That's another thing I've learned. When you're here in Texas and it's hot, you better put those worms on ice. And I've got them on ice, and I'm keeping them cool. So I'm going to put out a worm out here and see what we are going to do. Okay. For some reason, I've got everything balled up. Okay, there we are. We're free now. I'm just going to hook this worm right up in the egg sac. Not going to twist him around. I'm going to try this for the first steal. Got a lot of activity. So we will just see what we got with Mr. Worm. Now I'm not very far offshore. And you know what I did? The first thing I did, I went back to my old style of not closing the bail except by letting the reel do it. So I'm going to have to practice that, probably with you guys too. If you've picked this up from what I've shared with you, you're probably going to have to practice opening and then closing it after you cast. Now the rod I've got's kind of short for this activity in this lake, and so I'll see how this goes tonight, but I might come back another night with my 10-foot rod, because then I've got 10 feet out and barely have to do anything as far as casting if I don't want to. The other thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and shorten up my bobber, because the lake is still down. We're still praying for more rain, and we'll just see what we got here. Okay, let's take a next cast out. Open up. Okay. And close it. I did it right this time. All right. Let's see what we've got out there. Now, I've caught crappie down here before when the lake was up, but like if you saw my little short video the other night, I caught a crappie off the dock, and that was the first crappie that I had caught in 3 months out of this lake. And again, this lake is fed by its environment. Not that many great minnows in it. So the natural environment is, you know, lots of bugs and minnows and frogs. Well, we're not getting anything there. Let's recast. Get a little farther out. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. That's better. A lot of times I'll find small bass cruising along these shorelines, and they like worms. I mean, that's why we use all those plastic worms for them, right? This is a live one. They really like those night crawlers. Whoa, we're getting a bite. We're getting a bite. We're getting a bite. First bite. It doesn't look like a big bite, but we are getting a bite. It's moving around. We're going to pick up on it. Whoa, yeah. We got, oh man. I didn't put on a strong hook set. That's my fault. But I can tell you this, it was probably a pretty good sized bluegill, because if it would have been a bass, it would have taken off the worm, but it's not gone. So I'm going to put another little wrinkle on here, but we did have a bite. So we're going out to the same area. That's what I learned from Richard Jean. If you got a bite out in one area, go right back there. So we're going right back out there. Let's see what we got. Got to be more than one, right? Got to be more than one. So I think maybe I'm at the right depth as far as getting the bite, at least where the fish is looking at it. So let's see what we got. You know, this is slow fishing. If you're one of those guys like me that just enjoys fishing and doesn't care if it's fast, slow, or indifferent, I don't like it indifferent. But, you know, just go out and do it. Just go out and do it because it's fun. Okay, there's something flipping around out there. Now, we got turtles around here, but I've never been bothered other than by that one snapping turtle that I caught a few months ago. And he's probably still floating around out here with a big hook in its mouth. Okay, we got another little bite. Another little bite. Not much of a bite at all. In fact, less than the other one. Let's see what happens. Not much. But you know, sometimes that little bite, those guys are pretty sneaky. Just that little bite is enough sometimes to get the worm off. I'll let it sit there a little bit longer. I think I'll just give it a little bit of a move. We'll see what happens. Well, we're not getting any response. He either got it or he's not going to play with it anymore. Okay, what do we got? Oh, we still got our worm. We've still got our worm. He's still in good shape. Not as lively as he was before. But he's still a viable bait. Still a viable bait. So we're going to cast him out there again. Okay. Now, one thing I did learn from Richard Jean, and I'll share it with you if you don't know it, but he said fishing like this with no weight on that worm lets it fall at a very natural rate. If you had even a small weight on there, yeah, it would hold it, but it wouldn't fall at quite the same natural weight as it would with no weight at all, just the worm on the hook. And man, I tell you what, I watch his videos from Alabama, and boy, he goes to some of the most gorgeous places and catches some awesome fish. Isn't that what it's about? I hope if you're watching this, you've got some awesome places you can go fish and catch some awesome fish while you're at it. Yeah. I'll let it sit there a little bit more. Then you know what? I'm gonna change worms. I'm gonna go to a more lively worm and see what happens then. Okay, we're gonna bring it in. Whoa, look at that. Right when I moved it, that was a bass. I know that was a bass. And he went for the bobber. Well, like I said, folks, the bass patrol right up close to this shore. And that guy proved my point. Okay, let's go get another worm and put on here. Okay, come on, worm. Okay, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. We're gonna put you out there, Mr. Wormy. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I mean, this guy has got some action to him. Okay, we're to cast at a different place now. Yep. Apparently there was some line twist on this with this way it was wrapped on here, so I've got some line twist challenges right now, and I hope that doesn't ruin the rest of my evening, but it's not looking real healthy right now. My goodness. Well, this might mean an end. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Not fun to play with. That just came off the reel. And I did close it correctly. So I don't really have time to fool around with this. I'll tell you what, we're gonna let it sit out there and see what we got. I don't know if I can get this on. I don't think I can get all this undone. It's pretty well a mess. Yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah, we're coming undone. Let's see what happens there. Okay. Okay, maybe we're gonna get it undone. We'll see. Well, so far so good. Just see what happens here. Just keep going. I know when I was growing up, learning how to cast, we'd get bird nests, my brothers and I, we'd sit down and try to get those big old ocean casting reels undone, and I don't know how this is gonna go, but it's, well, so far so good. Let me see if I can take in some line. I'm still loosening it. Okay, as long as you don't draw it real tight. Okay, there's another one undone. There's another one undone. We got it! Well, okay, I'll just say on that, praise the Lord. Because I really didn't want to stop fishing. I got it done. Okay. Well, let's see what happens right there offshore. Okay. Well, we're still in the game. We're still in the game. And we're going to go out there again. Oh, we're getting bites already. Look at that. I think we got something on there this time. Yes. No. Golly mollies. Is this going to be a repeat of the other night? Getting bites with no hooks. So far, 3 bites, 0 hookups. And whatever that was, got about half the worm. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to see if we can throw it out there again. Okay, come on. Let's go for it. So to me, that was probably a bluegill with the worm in its mouth and took his portion and started running. Okay, we're getting another bite. So I'm about half and half, remembering how to close the bail instead of reeling it. So I'm learning as we go. I think that's what it takes to get over a long time habit. Move a little closer. Oh, there's something swimming. Oh, I'm gonna go do that. I just saw something over to my left side, close to shore. We'll kind of try to focus over that way and see what happens. Right in that area. Let's see what we got. I think we'll get ready for another worm too. This doesn't seem to be doing much. Yeah. Let's change out worms. I'll make a little stop here just to see. Oh, look at that. Something there. Something there. Not big. Not big, that's for sure. Let's see if it wants to go for it again. Nope. Yeah, bluegill be hanging around in this green stuff out there. Okay. Oh, this one in there. Free lunch, guys. Free lunch. Free lunch. There you go. Actually, dinner time. Okay, another worm. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Okay, we got another lively worm. We're going to put him out there again. Okay, that's where we've had the most bites out there. I remembered to close the bail by hand. Now let's get a fish. Come on, it's time for a fish. Might have to use the old favorite. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Come on. You know, Bert and Ernie, I think they probably had something. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. I watched Jimmy Houston a couple nights ago, and he was up on his lake, and he was going 1, 2, 3, bite. 1, 2, 3, bite. So I don't know which one is better, 1, 2, 3, bite, or here, fishy, fishy. But anyway, he wasn't having any luck either. Yeah. Oh, there we got a little bite. We got another little bite. Boy. I wish we'd get some of those ones that I lost. They were much bigger than that. I hope these guys aren't just little piranhas out there. Well, so far. Bring it in a little closer. Not much going on. Boy, it's nice and quiet down here. Beautiful. No wind, which is Actually, we need some wind to cool us off. When I left my house, it was 105 degrees. I don't know what it is now, but I'm sweating pretty good. Of course, I know how to do that. Okay. Let's go down a little bit more parallel to the shore. Right out there. Let's see what we got. Tell you what we're going to do after we see if we've got anything with this cast. We're going to take a little hike down the shoreline where there's a couple of brush piles, and we're going to fish close to those brush piles and see what's hanging out in there. I've caught a couple bass out of there, so let's see what we've got now. You know, I got some movement. I can see that bobber just moving just a little bit away from shore. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but it's moving very, very, not even pulling down, just kind of moving very slowly. Very slowly. Which indicates to me it's probably a little bitty fish. I'll put a little touch to it and see what happens. Nothing. Whoa, there was a bite. He was sitting there right when I moved it. I don't know if it'll come back or not. I don't even know. I think he might have got the worm on that bite. Nope, didn't get the worm. It's an aggressive bite though. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we're just going to go ahead and march on down, pick up everything from here, get the worms. Okay. Got the worms. Got to get the camera, and we'll just march on down and see what we've got. Saw quite a few deer coming out tonight, and I'll be posting those on a couple of shorts. That's one of the neat things about my neighbor's ranch. He's got a lot of deer, a lot of turkey out here, and almost every night I'll get an opportunity to see the babies and the mamas. I haven't seen any bucks yet, but they're still growing their antlers, so that'll be a while before I get to see some of those guys. We do get to see some hogs, and we're trying to eradicate as many of those as they can. So here we are at our little new stop, and we'll see what we're going to do here. Oops, this ground is not real conducive. Okay, let me see what we got as far as my camera angle. Oh, not bad, not bad. I like that. We're sitting up on a stump behind me. So it'll give us a pretty good view of the lake and where I cast. We're going to try right off, literally right here in this little trough in here. Tell you what, let's make a recap. Okay, that's better. That's better. Now I've seen these bluegill come up and just try to nibble and strike at that orange bobber. I've seen that many times. We're not getting too much right now, are we? I'll just move it a little bit. I would expect that this bottom area in this lake is very sandy bottom area, so it would be good for nests of bluegill, bass. In the past I've seen some, but I haven't seen any this year. You'd think I'd see more that it's so far down, but I haven't. Now, I hope I didn't get hung up on the tree limbs out there. And that might do it. Well, I think we just ended the night. We just ended the night. You can appreciate that. We just ended the night with the setup hooked up. We've got the big tree out there, and I just don't think we're gonna do too much with that. So that's going to end our night tonight. Again, about 6 strikes, 2 strikeouts. So no fish, 6 strikes. But we will be back because we know they're here. And we know this, fishing is good for you. We'll see you the next time on I'm Going Fishing 21-3. Have a great weekend.